First aid, the secret weapon of a good detective. So now there's just one of you, huh? Wasting my time.
What's up everyone, I'm Dan, and a big thank you to Playside and Fumi Games for the review code for Mouse PI for hire on the Nintendo Switch 2. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe for more reviews like these, and without further ado, let's get into this. Mouse PI for hire is one of those rare releases that immediately stands out as soon as you've seen it. Blending the chaotic energy of a boomer shooter with the unmistakable charm of 1930s animation, it delivers a striking first impression and for the most part, backs it up with substance. What you get here is a stylish, fast-paced first-person shooter wrapped in a noir detective story packed with personality, secrets, and just enough quirks to keep things interesting. You step into the shoes of Jack Pepper, voiced by Troy Baker, a war hero turned private investigator navigating the crime-ridden streets of Mouseburg. What begins as a fairly straightforward missing persons case quickly spirals into something more complex, involving corruption, gang violence, and a tangled web of conspiracy. The writing leans heavily into noir tropes, gritty narration, cheesy puns, and plenty of twists. Jack's internal monologue and interactions with the city's cast of characters help ground the experience, even when the world itself leans into loony cartoon logic.
Some falls don't begin in the sky. They begin in quiet rooms, with friendly voices and fondue bottles.
Gameplay is where things shift gears. Mouse PI is a fast, movement-driven first-person shooter. You'll be running, jumping, grappling, and blasting your way through over 20 levels filled with enemies that rarely give you a moment to breathe. Combat is fluid and often chaotic, especially when multiple enemies swarm you at once. Thankfully, the game is generous with resources. There's plenty of health and ammo dotted around each level, which keeps the pacing aggressive without becoming overly punishing. The arsenal is delightfully inventive also, ranging from more traditional firearms to cartoonishly exaggerated weapons that feel ripped straight out of an old cartoon. Power-ups add another layer of fun, letting you temporarily turn the tide in hectic encounters. There's a satisfying rhythm to combat once you settle into it, though weapon management can occasionally interrupt the flow, particularly when using the weapon wheel mid-fight. Movement also plays a big role in keeping things dynamic. Abilities like double jumping, wall running, and grappling hooks open traversal and add verticality to level design. While levels themselves tend to be fairly linear, they're varied enough to keep things visually and mechanically fresh. Outside of combat, the game sprinkles in lighter investigative elements. You'll collect clues, pin them to a board back at your office, and piece together the broader mystery. However, these moments feel more like connective tissue than fully realized mechanics. There's a sense that the detective angle could have been pushed further, as the game largely prioritizes the shooting segments. Where Mouse PI for hire truly shines is in its presentation. The black and white hand-drawn animation is great to look at. Every character moves with exaggerated fluid motion, and the decision to keep enemies in 2D against 3D environments creates a unique visual contrast that works remarkably well. It's not just a gimmick, it's a fully realized aesthetic that permeates every aspect of the game. The attention to detail is impressive. Enemies melt or explode or crumble in ways that feel straight out of retro cartoons, and there are countless nods to classic animation and detective films scattered throughout. The audio design complements this perfectly. A big band jazz soundtrack drives the atmosphere, reinforcing the noir tone while keeping the energy high during combat. Voice acting is another highlight, with Jack Pepper delivering a convincing, hard-boiled performance that anchors the narrative. One of the more surprising additions is the amount of optional content. Levels are packed with secrets, including collectible comics, newspapers, and hidden items that encourage exploration. There's even a baseball card minigame, which adds a fun diversion from the main action. It's simple but oddly addictive and ties into progression by rewarding you with tokens and unlocks. The overworld map is another nice touch. Driving around Mouseburg between missions adds a sense of cohesion to the experience, making the city feel more connected rather than just a series of isolated levels. It's a small detail, but it goes a long way in reinforcing the game's world building. That said, the experience isn't without its rough edges. Controls can feel slightly clunky at times, and a lack of gyro controls is a missed opportunity. Performance can also be slightly inconsistent, with frame rates dips during more intense encounters. Given the level of polish in its art direction and audio design, I would say that this game is a must-have title, especially for fans of retro shooters or noir storytelling. Mouse PI for Hire succeeds because it knows exactly what it wants to be. It's a love letter to a bygone era of animation and cinema wrapped in a fast-paced shooter that rarely loses momentum. While it may not fully capitalize on its detective premise and has a few technical hiccups, the sheer creativity and charm on display make it hard to ignore. It's not just style over substance, it's a genuinely fun and memorable game that stands out in a crowded genre. Mouse PI for Hire is out now on the Nintendo eShop, priced at $24.99 in the UK and $29.99 in the US. Big thanks once again to Playside for the review code. Have you played this one yet, and what do you think about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks as always for watching, hope you enjoyed the review. Don't forget to hit that like button, and until next time.